Here we go with another triangle question. So we have triangle ABC. And we have certain measurements. A is 87 degrees. Side B is 12 meters. And side C is 9 meters. And we're trying to look for the measure of side A. So that's what we're looking for. So it's not a right triangle. At least we don't know if it is. So we're going to be using the law of sines or cosines. So you use the law of sines typically when you can take an angle and you know an opposite side. So you would know both of these, and we don't. So this is going to be probably a law of cosines question. So law of cosines is if you're looking for a side, which we are, start out with that side squared equals. So this is actually very similar to Pythagorean theorem. So one side squared equals the sum of the squares of the other side. So I'm just going to say b squared plus c squared. So that's in that way, it's very much like Pythagorean theorem, but then there's a little additional to it. It's always then minus 2, and then both these sides multiply together, the b and the c, bc, and then times the sine. I'm sorry, it's law of cosine, so that's obviously not going to be sine, times the cosine of, let me erase that to make that better, of capital A, whatever's opposite this. So it's an easy, actually pretty easy formula. It looks hard, but it's not. If I was looking for B, I'd have B squared equals A squared plus C squared minus 2AC cosine of B, and so on. So it looks like there's a lot of different formulas, but there's one formula. It's pretty simple to use. So here, I'm just going to basically plug everything in. It looks like I have everything. So A squared equals B squared plus C squared minus 2B C cosine of A. Now, what I would do, A is 87. What I would do here on the calculator is do as the least simplifications that you can. In other words, don't start typing things in piece by piece. You have this whole side of the equation over on the right. The calculator does a good job at keeping order of operations. So let the calculator worry about the order of operations and just type it in exactly like it is. So make sure you're in degree mode, which I am. So I have 12 squared plus 9 squared minus 2 times 12 times 9 times the cosine of 87. So that looks exactly how it should look. So I'm going to be pretty sure about this answer, which is 213.695. Which seems kind of large, and that's because it is, because we still have a squared. So to solve for a, we have to square root this. And I'm not really concerned with the number of decimal points I use because on my calculator, I'm just going to square root my answer, and I'll use all those decimal places. So there you go. It's 14.618, or let's call it 14.62. And it's pretty simple. And what I usually do sometimes is when I type this in, I put this whole thing. I'll show you how I type it in here. I start out with the square root, and then and this is only when you're solving for a side, and then I type this whole thing in the square root. So all it just takes is, well, I guess it doesn't do that. Well, you can picture that, try it. The next video, or a different video, we're going to be talking about how to find an angle using the law of cosines. So that's it for this one.